I'm going to switch now to my tablet. Okay, and come back to my tablet. It's going to reboot. So I'm going to go back to my Galaxy Nexus right now. And I'm going to go to Maps. Okay, 1 second. See what I'm saying here. Okay. So I've now launched Maps, and probably maybe get a lot here. But another thing you can do now, because we support Arabic now in terms of voice search, and I should also mention that we now support multiple dialects of Arabic. So there's a Saudi dialect, there's an Egyptian dialect, I think there's about 7 now that we support now for Arabic. So you can actually try your own dialect and see how it does. So what I'll do now is I'm going to see if I can do a search in Maps for a specific location. And it's actually a city here in Saudi Arabia that is where my uncle lives. So let's give this a try and see if we can do that with just talking into my phone. So I'm going to do, 1 sec, I have to switch it here. So I'm going to switch the language actually. Okay, sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this microphone button here, and I'm going to say the location of where my uncle lives. See how it works. Ara Ara. And it doesn't work. Okay, so it actually got it, but I couldn't find it for some reason. So let's try another one, just see how that goes. Riyadh. Okay, so there's a place here called Riyadh. I don't know what this is. Okay, but let's see. Okay, let's try another one. Dubai. Okay, so it got Dubai here. Let me just zoom out so you can see where that is relative to VR. Right? So you can see exactly where that is now on the map. So what you can do now is you can, of course, because we support driving directions here now, you can click on it. You can get directions that go directly there. So I click on Get Directions. And it gives you what it believes to be the shortest path to get there. You can, of course, look at the actual directions that it gives you. See all the different streets that it takes you. You can also switch now to navigation mode. So if I want to put my phone down in my car, I can now navigate directly there via my smartphone. You can also look at, I'll show you this really quickly, I'll click at the bottom here. I can click on routes and alternates. And so if I don't like the specific instance of the trajectory here, I can actually look at different paths. I'm not sure if there are any in this case. Oh, there they are. So it's suggesting 2 alternate paths if I want to get there. So if I don't want to go this way, I can take this one right here, or I can take the north route, which goes a little bit further. And it tells you exactly how long it takes to get there and whatnot. Okay, so that's another example. Let me show you now a new feature that is also supported now in Ice Cream Sandwich, the platform itself. I'll switch over. Okay, so I've got both of my phones here. So I've got my Galaxy Nexus, and I've got my Nexus S here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this one. So you can see here, I've got just my normal display here appearing. Now, there's a new feature that supports, so there's a new feature in the phones themselves these days, at least in Ice Cream Sandwich, that supports something called NFC. It's called Near Field Communications. And it's a little chip in the actual device itself, and it allows you to send information from one device in close proximity to another. And so what you do to send information from one device to another is you literally just tap them together. You bring them very close together, and then depending on the application, if it is actually using the NFC API, you can send information back and forth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and launch Angry Birds. So I'm going to play Angry Birds right now. And this phone doesn't have Angry Birds on it, right? And a typical use case you might have is that Somebody's playing a game, you want to know how to get that game, you don't know how to search for it. But what if I could just take that game and tap it on the other phone and see what happens? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this phone down here. I'm going to put this one on top of it. And then of course it doesn't work. Let me see if I have NFC turned on. Okay, I do. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tap these two phones together. Okay? So you'll now see what it says here. It says touch to beam. Okay? So I'm going to hit touch. Okay, I'm going to switch them back. Let's see what it does. And there you have it. So right there. So very quickly. So the cool thing with this, turn off this music. The cool thing with that is you can use this in multiple applications. So if you're thinking of building an application, you can use that NFC API to send information back and forth to other devices that support it. So I can do this today in YouTube. So say you're watching a YouTube video and you've actually stopped it in the middle of the video. You can stop it right then and there, bring your phones together, and send that video to the next person. Or at least a pointer to where that video is and the anchor to it in terms of where you were in the video itself.